All right, guys, let's knock out this practice test here. Quick video, or I don't know if it's quick, but get through it. See how we do. Number one, you already have LCD on these. So when you have LCD already, the 4a plus 1, all you do is add the numerators. All right, so if I add 3 and 4a minus 3, the 3's would cancel. That's all you do. Okay, don't make that one difficult. And don't cancel those 4a's. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Number two, factor denominator if you can, because you need to find the LCD. And remember the rules for finding your LCD. You need to use every factor there is, and if they have an exponent, use that exponent. Don't add an exponent ever. Like I know there's an x plus 4 underneath both of those. Do not make it x plus 4 squared. All right, look at your first fraction. Look at the denominator. What does it need to look like this? It needs an x minus 4. That's what you're going to multiply the numerator by. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 times x minus 4. The second fraction has both. It needs nothing. So I'm just going to bring the 3 straight down here. Distribute that 5. Oops, that should be a 20. 5 times 4 is 20. There we go. Plus 3 over the x plus 4, x minus 4. And then combine your 20 and your 3, make it negative 17 over the x plus 4, x minus 4. All right, number 3, same deal. Factor your denominators. All right, factor those denominators. So I'm going to have x minus 5, x minus 2 for the first one. The second one, I'm going to have an x. That should be an x, by the way, in the middle. X minus 5. It'll be x minus 5, x minus 5. I'm going to write that x minus 5 squared. That's important that you do that because, again, your LCD is every factor. This time I have an x minus 2 and x minus 5. If they share one and there's no exponent, don't put an exponent. But if one of them does have an exponent, make sure you use the larger of the two. All right, now I'm doing the same thing. What does this denominator, this first denominator, not have? The semi-common denominator. And the answer is it needs one more x minus 5. It's got one x minus 5, but it doesn't have two of them. So I'm going to do the 5x times another x minus 5. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the second fraction. All right, I'm going to take the 2x. Like, look at the bottom of this one. It does not have the x minus 2. So I'm going to take the 2x, multiply times x minus 2. And I'm just going to work that out. Distribute here. 5x squared minus 25x. Distribute the 2x, be negative 2x squared plus 4x. And that's still over the x minus 2, x minus 5. And then combine what you can. 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. Negative 25x plus 4 is negative 21x. And I have an x minus 2, x minus 5. Now, I'm done on this problem, but my numerator will factor. And you should at least look at that. What I notice is 3 goes into 21 7 times. So if I did factor out the 3, I would get an x minus 7, which won't cancel on the bottom anyway. And if it won't cancel, there's no reason to factor that. All right, let's go to 4. Here we go, 4. This is called a complex fraction. 2 ways you can do this. I only showed you one way in class, which is pretty smart on my part. But there's another way. And if you ask me tomorrow when you come in, I'll show you that way. Maybe you like it better. I don't know. But I kind of like this way. Just multiply by the LCD like we did up top. And on this top, just look at the top only. The x, y's would cancel. That would leave you with an x squared minus y squared. And on the bottom, just the y's would cancel. So I'm going to take this x times all that stuff right there, which x times x is x squared. X times y is xy. I'm going to take the stuff that I just got, factor it, x plus y, x minus y. My denominator, factor out the x, that leaves x minus y. And hopefully you see what I see. These x minus y's cancel each other. That leaves you with x plus y over x. And guys, that's it. All right, let's keep going. Number 5, these are the square root parts. Okay, so the first one's just a regular old square root. Square root of 121 is 11. This is square root, so I'm going to divide the 2 into 6. That gives me x cubed. And because I started with an even, the exponent was even, and I ended up with an odd in my answer. Got to have absolute value. Even, odd. Psh, can't believe I put that on video. Number 6, the 4th root of 81. Everybody knows is 3. Divide 4 into 20. 4 goes into 25 times. That's a 5. Now, even, ended up odd. Psh, again. Number 7. 7, if as long as the index is the same, these are both square roots, you are allowed to multiply and make it one big radical. So that's what I'm going to do. 8 times 4 is 32. Add the exponents on your x's, add the exponents on your y's. And now let's take the square root, see what we can do. 32 breaks down with a 16 and a 2. The square root of 16 is 4. Leave the 2 inside because you can't break that down anymore. Then divide. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 2 1 time. Now, I know you kind of want to put absolute value around those x and y's, but because of what we started with up here, there were no even exponents up there, you don't have to worry about it. Number 8, there it is. 8's got a fraction bar, which means division. So I'm going to take that, those two radicals, just divide them and make it one radical. If I divide right there, 48 divided by 6 is 8. The x's would cancel, and I'd get a y, and I'd be done right now, except you can break down the 8. Remember, 8 is really square root of 4 times square root of 2. The square root of 4 is 2. That comes out. Square root of 2 you can't break down. Leave the y inside also. There you go. Let's keep going. Number 9. Doing good. All right. You're not allowed to add radicals unless they have the same number inside. And you can't break down 2 at all. Like I'm stuck with the 2. So I'm going to break the 50 down. And I'm going to use the 2 because I need them to be the same. So I'm going to see how many times 2 goes into 50. And luckily, it's 25. And the reason I say luckily is because 25 has a square root. Okay, square root of 25 is 5. There's a 9 in the front. Multiply those two. 5 times 9 is 45. On the 2, you still got that 2 left over there. Minus 4 on the square root of 2. Now you can subtract. And all you do is subtract their coefficients. 45 minus 4 is 41 on 2. That was awesome. Let's keep going. Number 10. 10 is FOIL. It's going to go straight through FOIL here. So I'm going to do first those two. Remember, you can multiply numbers that are outside and also numbers that are inside, but not both together. So this first. Outer, I'm going here and here. 3 times 3 is 9. That's going to be negative because one's positive and one's negative. 2 times 6 is 12. Now I'm going inner. That's those two. So we get 4 on 6. And then I'm going last. If I do last, that's these two. There's a 3 inside. And I got square root of 6 times square root of 6. Remember, if you get the same number, square root of 6 times square root of 6, you can just pull out the 6. So it's 6. But don't forget the 3 right here. 6 times 3 is 18. And I would be done, except for that crazy 12 right here. You can break down the 12. 12 is really 4 times 3. That's the only thing I can break down. So I'm stuck with this. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 9 is 18 on the square root of 3. Plus, I can't break down a 6, and 18 is just 18. So that's all you can do. Number 11, rationalize the denominator. Sorry about that. When you rationalize, you must multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate of 2 minus the square root of 3 is 2 plus the square root of 3. Make sure you show me this tomorrow, and I can at least give you a point or two if you mess up. Having a hard time. All right. The cool thing about multiplying by the conjugate is on the bottom, remember when you multiply conjugates, you just do FL. You just do FL, first, last. So do your first. 2 times 2 is 4. If you do square root of 3 times square root of 3, it's just 3 changes. They're both, the 3 have different signs. You're always going to do opposites like that. In conjugates, you're always going to get a minus sign. On the top of my numerator, I'm just going to distribute 4 times 2 and also 4 times the square root of 3. My denominator down here is obviously 1, which means I don't even need it. So I'm going to go 8 plus 4 on 3. And that's all there is to it. You got this. Number 12, square, multiply, double, square, square, multiply, double, square. So I'm going to square the square root of 5. It's 5. Multiply these two together, which would give me square root of 15. Remember, if you double something, you multiply it by 2. So just stick a 2 in the front. It's minus because it was minus in the problem. Then you're going to square the second one. If you square square root of 3, you just get 3. And anytime you square something, it becomes positive. Squaring things always make it positive. That's why it's a plus. Add your 5 and 3. That's 8. And you have 2 on 15. Dunzo. Keep going. Number 13. 13 is a quick one, I think. When you multiply, you add exponents. So I'm going to get b to the negative 11. Don't you dare leave it like that. Negative exponent flips things, so just flip it to the bottom. You get 1 over b to the 11th. All right, straight to 14. 14 is cubes, factoring cubes. Small, big, cube root, square, multiply, change the sign, square. Here it goes. Do the exact same thing. Small, big, cube root of 216 is 6. If you don't know that, use your calculator and punch in cube root of 216. Square the first. Multiply them together and change the sign, and then square the 6. 36. That's awesome. Okay, 2 more. 15. Just straight up multiplication here on 15. So the way you do that is I'm going to take that 3 all the way through. Taking that 3 all the way through, then I'm going to take the 2 all the way through. Okay, when I take the 3, I'm going to get 6x cubed minus 12x squared plus 9x. Then I'm going to take the 2 through. Taking this 2 through. 2 times 2 is 4x squared. 2 times 4 is 8x. 2 times 3 is 6. Then I'm just looking for terms I can combine. Can't combine anything with the 6x cubed. I have these two that are squared. That's going to be negative 8x squared. I have these two that have x's, 17x. And I have plus 6 at the end. And that's all we got for that one. Last one. Here we go. 16 says solve. Looks like slide, divide, slide to me. So I'm going to go slide, divide, slide right here. Sliding the 9. And what happened right there? 9 times 4 is 36. Right. What factors of 36 give you 15? 12 and 3, obviously. I mean, come on. And then you got to divide. Divide the same number you slid. I slid the 9. Going to divide by 9. Reduce those. If I reduce 12 ninths, you get 4 thirds. If you reduce 3 ninths, you get 1 third. That's as far as I'm going to go, except for the answer. You don't need to go. You don't need to slide again because you're trying to solve. If all it said was factor, you need to go ahead and slide again. But this time, you can just put the answers down, which is negative 4 thirds and negative 1 third. And what you can do, don't forget, those are the correct things. I was just checking in my head, but in case you forgot how to check, if you multiply these answers together, multiply the numerators, you would get 4. Multiply the denominators, you would get 9. Look at the first number, 4. Last number, 4. Look at the first number, 9. 4 ninths. It's unbelievable. You're welcome for that. That is awesome. All right, so good luck tomorrow. Hope this helps. Message me if you have any questions. You can always do that. Guys are doing great. Keep it up. See you tomorrow.